Welcome to Wisdom Teachings with Dr. Amanda Love. Today's topic is ending urgency. Ending urgency. Everyone in the world seems to be in a mad dash to get things done or be somewhere other than where they are. We drive fast, think fast, move fast, send text messages fast, eat fast, fast. Always on to the next thing and never being inside of what is now. We have some kind of belief that somewhere else is better, more fun, more exciting, more relaxing, or more peaceful than where we are now. If we could just get to those moments or times when everything looks and feels better and lock them in for eternity, then we could stop with all of the urgency and just be. Yet even when those transitory moments of peace or better come, we can't seem to stop, slow down, and enjoy the moment. We only recognize that this moment will change and be gone soon enough. How do we ever live relaxed and in a state of being with the near constant change, activity, and movement of life? How do we stop trying to get somewhere and rather be where we are in each and every moment? One of the most fundamental beliefs that we must work within ourselves is the one that says that something is better than now. How many times throughout your day do you find yourself engaged in an activity just hoping to get it over and done with? Perhaps you feel this way during your morning workout or when you are at work and things don't seem to be going the way you want them to. Maybe you can't get something to work right on the computer, or you have a class at school you don't enjoy, or an annoying neighbor, roommate, or some other person you have to deal with. When we find ourselves in these types of situations, we mostly just want to be out, for it to be done and over with because we do not feel pleasant, relaxed, or at peace. We think that once this activity, task, conversation, or situation is over, then we can relax and be. The thing is, life is loaded with movement, and might I even say, what seems to feel like chaos, stickiness, or mess. There is simply a lot of stuff going on that never seems to stop, and things are rarely perfectly packaged and placed as we would like them to be. So what's the answer here? How do we bring what we want to experience to every situation that we find ourselves in? Attempting to manipulate each and every experience, circumstance, person in our life, including ourselves, is exhausting and, quite frankly, impossible, even though this is what most people try to do. The answer, rather, is that we must pause our sense of urgency, of wanting to get out of our experience of ick or overwhelm, and drop into it rather than try to get out of it. By moving into our experience, the possibility to transform ourselves inside of it becomes available. When we transform ourselves, we transform our experience of whatever it is we are experiencing. Have you ever noticed that life seems to have its own pacing? It operates at a speed or rhythm that sometimes aligns with our own and at other times not so much. Sometimes the pace of life feels too fast and other times too slow. We may find ourselves feeling urgent in either scenario. If the pace of life feels like it's moving too fast, then we try to speed ourselves up to meet the pace and demands of all the movement of life. If the pace of life is too slow for us, then again we try to speed ourselves up, hoping that life will respond to us and speed up as well. Either way, we are gearing ourselves up for the race to somewhere else. Life's pacing is largely out of our control. There's a bigger orchestration at play to which we are mostly unaware. Sure, there might be things that you can do, such as putting more or less activities in your day-to-day schedule, which you may actually need to do, But the bigger message here is in how you walk with life and its pace, not getting ahead of it or behind it, but rather being right with it as it unfolds. What this requires is a surrender to the rhythm that is present rather than the rhythm we would prefer to be present. While this might seem bold to say, here it is. Our preferences matter, but not that much. While we are the kings and queens of our own world inside of our own heads, when it comes to the larger orchestration of life, we are part of the whole. Often we don't see from the whole, but only from the part we play. In this way, we are egocentric, not in a negative way as it's mostly innocent on our part, but rather in a way in which we just simply don't see the bigger picture. We are not inside the heads of every single being in this universe, seen from the perspective of universal consciousness. Therefore, our scope and sight is limited to our own. This creates immense confusion and frustration for us as we often don't understand the whats and whys to the pacing and timing of things. Accepting confusion is one of the best ways to come back into rhythm with life's pacing. Understanding is not required for us to have acceptance. In fact, this is one of the greatest lessons of having this human experience. Not necessarily an easy lesson, yet it does the job of eventually getting us into a state of surrender. Surrendering to what is rather than what we prefer to be. Only once we move into acceptance and surrender can we begin to see beyond ourselves and our egocentric human point of view. Being in the unknown of what the moment is, contains, and could be, rather than in our ideas, preferences, or insistences about what is occurring. There is so much about the happenings that we don't get to decide, even the happenings of our own bodies. What we do get to decide is how we be and whether or not we try to get out or be in the rhythm within this moment. When you feel urgency arise inside of you, begin the practice of pausing. Take a breath and let go of whatever you are energetically holding on to or trying to get done, and allow the state of being to be present inside of your experience. Recognize that you can both be and engage in activity. There is nothing to get over with, as there will always be more things. Rather, see the moment that you desire is now. What you wish to experience is now. Bring that to your experience and watch the magic reveal itself to you.